Welcome to Scary World, where we explore the darkest mysteries and the most haunted places on Earth.
In 2016, 21-year-old Matthew Graham from Melbourne was sentenced to 15 years in prison. But this wasn't just any normal website. On this website, children were sexually tortured, and the videos were uploaded. Discussions were held there about new methods of torture, how to dispose of bodies, and other such horrifying things. However, on the dark web, this is not the only website of its kind.
According to research from the University of Portsmouth, child pornography is one of the most disturbing things found on the dark web. But if this has made your skin crawl, don't even think about visiting the discussion forums here, because people discuss their darkest fantasies, like which human body part is the most delicious or how to make a bag from human skin. If this sounds twisted to you, obviously you won't go to the dark web, but if you're itching to explore it out of adventure, let me warn you that there are other risks as well. For instance, if you don't want your personal information to be sold on some dark web website tomorrow, think again.
But friends, the question arises, if it's so dangerous and illegal, why hasn't it been banned yet? Well, perhaps because the one who created it is none other than the world's superpower, America's military. But why did they create such an illegal thing? Could there be some benefit to America? Well, now friends, if you want to ruin someone's life or eliminate them, Slayer assassination and life-ruining services are available here. These are so vile and despicable that they can not only destroy someone's life, but also take it away permanently. Basically, in this service you can give an online contract to someone, and you'll find these services everywhere on the dark web. Along with that, if you see other things like buying meat, you can even buy a human being. You can purchase an entire person's identity, including their credit card details, financial logins, email details, banking information, and driving license, all for just 900,000 rupees. But how do people buy all this? Because giving personal banking details on the dark web is like openly inviting hackers to access your bank account. And that's why the savior for dark web users, Satoshi Nakamoto, came into the picture, mining the world's first Bitcoin in 2009. Bitcoin is a virtual currency that cannot be traced. This means that if someone buys illegal items on the dark web with Bitcoin, their transaction cannot be traced back to them. Bitcoin, like other cryptocurrencies, uses blockchain technology, where each block contains information about who sent the coin, who received it, and where the sender got it from. Every block has its own unique hash code, similar to a fingerprint. When any change is made to the block, its hash changes as well. But what does all this have to do with the dark web? Well, friends, imagine you need to send Bitcoin to Papu, but a hacker tries to hack the transaction. To do so, the hacker would have to open all the blocks leading back to the origin of that Bitcoin, which would take an incredible amount of time. Meanwhile, online fraud becomes nearly impossible due to blockchain technology. I forgot to mention one thing. To visit the dark web, you first need to download the Tor browser, which allows you to access dark web websites with complete privacy and without leaving any trace. But don't think that just by downloading the Tor browser, you'll be completely safe. You'll need a VPN, but even that won't be enough. These are just superficial measures, and there are hackers who can bypass your computer's security systems. The most common mistake people make on the dark web is clicking on random links or pop-up ads, which look like normal ads but are actually viruses or trojans that download themselves onto your computer. These malware programs hide in your computer, sending all your information to hackers without your knowledge. And if you think you can simply exit a pop-up ad by clicking the X, you're mistaken. Clicking on it can cause files to start downloading from the dark web, which could lead to even more trouble. If you think you're safe just by closing the dark web, think again. Once you're caught in the dark web's web, you might not be able to escape. Even after closing it, the horrifying things you see there may haunt you. For instance, some forums discuss topics that are unacceptable to discuss in public, like how to murder someone, how to cook human flesh, or how to make a purse from human skin. There's literally a website for this on the dark web. Some people say thighs, others say eyes, and some say the heart is the most delicious part. Imagine how terrifying that is. There are also red rooms on the dark web, where live streams of people being tortured and murdered are broadcast. You can pay to watch these and even suggest methods of torture, but finding these red rooms is not easy, and you can only enter them if you receive an invitation. Even then, you'll have to pay in bitcoins to gain access. Because of the anonymity and difficulty of tracing these sites, even the FBI and cybercrime units struggle to find them. But if you did manage to find a link to one, Would you really want to go in? Now, friends, you might be wondering, was the original purpose of creating the dark web really to allow people to commit illegal acts freely? The internet is like an iceberg floating in water. The part we use is just the 10% visible above the surface, known as the surface web. The rest of the iceberg, submerged underwater, is known as the deep web, where companies and governments store data like medical records, financial and legal details, and government data that cannot be kept on the surface web. The dark web is a small part of this deep web. The dark web wasn't created by anyone, it's existed since the internet began. However, in the 1990s, the US government and its military developed the Tor browser, which allows users to surf the internet anonymously. They wanted a space where they could communicate without interference or the fear of their websites being hacked. American spies in other countries could also communicate with the US military without compromising their location or information. But in 2004, Tor was made public with the claim that everyone has the right to protect their privacy. However, their real motive was that if there were thousands of websites and users on the dark web, even if a government discussion was found, it wouldn't be clear if it was true or not. But they didn't anticipate that the dark web would become a hub for criminals, hackers, drug traffickers, and hitmen. Today, almost 90% of the content on the dark web is illegal or horrifying. Despite this, why isn't it being banned? Because shutting it down is nearly impossible. Dark web browsers use multiple layers to connect to servers, masking a user's IP address through 3 different IP addresses, making it extremely difficult to trace. Though the dark web is a dangerous place, it also helps law enforcement catch major criminals and stop large drug deals because the police can anonymously infiltrate it. Several countries have established task forces to monitor the dark web 24/7. Last year, a massive global dark web takedown led to 197 arrests. Sometimes, when the actual website owners are caught, they are forced to reveal the details and IP addresses of their users. So, if you accidentally visit the wrong website and the owner gets arrested, the police might knock on your door too. Friends, I've given you all the reasons why you should never visit the dark web. It's your choice now. If you still want to go, make sure you have strong security measures in place, never reveal your personal details, don't click on any ads, and don't download anything. If you've already visited the dark web, share your experience in the comments section. If you learned something new, give this video a like, subscribe to my channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update from me.